Oh, hello there, I didn't see you come in. Grab a seat, you're just in time to join me, Royce Zulu Wilson, with a hands-on preview of Bethesda's upcoming hell shooter, Doom Eternal. As you can see from this video full of preview gameplay capture, there's plenty of demon slaying involved in the game, which is on track for a March 20 release. Owing to unforeseen technical difficulties, however, the capture didn't record any sound, so I'm afraid you'll just have to put up with me narrating this for the next 7 minutes or so. I know, terrible, isn't it? If you played the 2016 Doom, you've already got a pretty good idea of what to expect, and you'll be very pleased to know that from what I've played so far, the Doom guy is most definitely back. When I say the Doom guy is back, I don't just mean in the sense that he has physically returned, because very obviously he has, what with his image being on the key art for the game and so forth, but also in the sense that all the wonderfully shooty, smashy, stompy, ultra-violent stuff from the previous game is here as well. As in the previous game, if you want resources, you're going to have to fight for them. None of this getting hurt and running away to suck your thumb in a corner until the owie goes away business. No. You want to feel better? Tear an enemy asunder with your bare hands and feast on the delicious health they drop. Need more ammo? Get the chainsaw out and cleave your opponents in twain as they dispense ammunition and health like some kind of demonic pinata. Need armor? Set the hellspawn on fire because of reasons. Of course, sometimes you'll be overwhelmed and will end up dying a horrible and painful death, and that's fine too. After all, that's what the restart checkpoint action is for. Level traversal remains an important aspect, and as you can see, there's still plenty of scope for jumping around and manoeuvring. Surprise chainsaw attack! And indeed, standing still is an excellent way to become demon food. Different enemies require different tactics, although I found myself making extensive use of the combat shotgun with its underbarrel grenade launcher in the demo, because when you're fighting the armies of hell, niceties such as the Hague Convention simply don't apply. The developers have said they want the game to be a combat puzzle, and that certainly came through in the preview build I played, with jumping puzzles, climbing puzzles, shooting all the demons and not dying puzzles, and working out when is the best time to use your special abilities and when is the best time to just go nuts and hope for the best. One thing I will mention is that while Doom is not about the story, there is quite a bit of lore in the world, and you'll find plenty of it scattered around if, like me, you're the sort of person that wants to read up on the history of the invasion, find out what's happening elsewhere in the world, today's forecast, hellfire easing to brimstone, and learn more about the cosmic forces at play in the world as you wander around killing its inhabitants. There's also some pretty nifty environmental puzzles and options in the game. As you can see here, I've come into some sort of hallway, oh, ouch, where there are plenty of zombie, boom, little off the top, who need to be dealt with before I can proceed to the next level. So obviously, besides the decapitations and the violence, and the shooting, and the lasers, and the noise, and the mess, you can see that by opening this door, there's something down there to go and see. Oh dear, he doesn't look friendly at all, does he? So he's brought his friends, and you can see there are weak spots on some of the enemies you can try and shoot. So in this case, I've tried to pick off the guns on his arms, but what's that? If I activate that spot up there, it sets off swinging axes, which can solve the problem for you much more efficiently than me trying to shoot him himself. When I turn around, of course, his friends are back. Should try again, and kaboom! Little off the top there, if you don't mind. Microwave for the win, zap, and then it's time to bust out the big guns again. There's those glory kills for more health, and of course more use of the environment to deal with a potentially nasty customer indeed. Now this next part is what we in the business like to refer to as a trap, because that's obviously what I've wandered into, because it's far too good to be true. So we've got this weird snake guy here coming up for a fight, rocket launcher to the face, and then it's time for a glory kill, which is of course a sword, because that's apparently the best way to deal with snakes. Pro tip, in real life, if you see a snake, leave it alone. Do not try and hit it, shoot it, or cut it up. It's a bit of a fight going on here, and it's getting all a bit hectic, so it's time to bust out the heavy machine gun, which makes a delightful mess when you fire it, but I still find myself coming back to the shotgun, and in this case it's my special ability for this level, which is being able to freeze people and then punch them in the face, because who hasn't wanted to do that, right? The bad guys that we're fighting here come in various forms, as you can see. We've got our weird snake-like people, you've got possessed soldiers, you've got Hell Knights. It's generally a fun time for young and old, but Still, the end result is the same. Everybody's going to die very horribly and messily, and I'll get to go on to the next thing I want to do, because that's basically what happens when you get between the protagonist of a video game and his objective. What this does demonstrate, though, of course, is some of the glory kills, the effects, the generally high quality of graphics that I saw in the preview, plus how smoothly it was all moving. I really was impressed with quite how well it was running on the demonstration PCs that the folks at Bethesda had set up for us in the demo. The graphics were vibrant, it was all very nice and very responsive, and as I'm sure you gathered, I had rather a lot of fun indeed playing around with it. I'd like to take a second again to talk about the traversal mechanics and the puzzles in the game, because it's not just about shooting everything that moves. There are puzzles that you need to navigate to get from where you want to be, such as in this case, you can see I have punched a thing, swung through something else, attached myself to a wall, and am now trying to work out where to go from here. So this moving up and down bit looks like a place to go, so I'm leaping over to that with my forward dash, and then you'll notice it's lifted me up to the above level. And of course there's a Revenant here and a bunch of his friends, so it's time for a bit more mess with the shotgun and some grenades and various other explodey messy things. A glory kill there, because that's the best way to deal with the legions of hell, as one should have well and truly established by this point. And because of reasons, I'm going to start a few fires and just keep unloading his 12 gauge into things. The heavy machine gun becomes another option at this point. Sometimes all you can really do is just pull the trigger and hope for the best. And as you can see, it's all getting a bit messy here, but the results, I think, speak for themselves, and I say they are quite worthwhile, and certainly a lot of fun. This next part was far too badass and hardcore not to include in this little preview clip. Longtime fans of the series will wonder if the super shotgun is in the game. And the answer, as you are about to find out, is that yes. Yes, it is. So your character, being that the hardcore awesome badass he is just acquiring it right there, breaking it open, and feeding it with 2 shells loaded with 00 buckshot. Kaboom! Everything you could need. Well, that brings us to the end of our time together, I'm afraid. But in summary, I was really impressed by what I played of the Doom Eternal preview. I am really looking forward to playing the full game when it releases in March, and I would like to say a big thank you to the team at Bethesda for bringing me down to their Sydney offices and letting me touch their shiny new game for several hours. Incidentally, this is the first time I've made one of these videos, so I don't have a clever sign-off yet, but you can be sure when I come up with one, this is the point where I'll be using it. In the meantime, though, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.